Hey guys, so in just a few hours from now, it will be November 1st, so happy November. We are a little less, actually, than 3 weeks away from the beginning of Legends Fest, so it is fastly approaching. I believe we have received our final premium release, summonable character banner, before Legends Fest. We got the 40th anniversary of the Dragon Ball manga, Goku and Gohan. I think that probably is the final release we're going to see before Legends Fest, so we have some time to farm up some CC to save our resources and get ready for the second biggest celebration of the year next to the anniversary. We have seen sometimes in the past where Legends Fest has been more impressive than Anniversary. Recently, it hasn't seemed that way, but it's possible for sure that Legends Fest could end up being better, more impressive, just more grand overall than the Anniversary. I would probably doubt it, but we'll see. It's possible. So, as I always do, and as I've done for every single month this year, and I probably will continue this throughout 2026 as well, because I feel like it's just a good video to make every month, we're going to talk about the upcoming schedule for this month. And, of course, as I do in every one of these videos, we'll start with what happened last year, and we'll use that as a reference, as a guide to kind of predict what we think might happen this year in November. So last year, we have on the 6th, which was the first reset day of November in 2024. This was the free-to-play Red Sin Shenron. And then we also had the Daima, I think it was episode 4 banner, featuring the blue Daima Goku who used the power pole and the yellow Glorio. I don't think we're probably going to see a summonable banner drop from now until Legends Fest. I think this was a special case just because they were trying to capitalize on the hype surrounding Daima, and they just wanted to drop a banner to commemorate some of the episodes. So that was what happened on the 6th here. On the 13th was the next reset day. We had the Zenkai for the 1% sparking Red Zamasu, the original Red Zamasu. So let me just quickly show you guys, for those of you who don't remember, or maybe weren't playing then. It's this guy. This is, again, I've been saying this for a lot of characters recently, but this is another one of these like historic characters in this game, because this guy he was part of one of the teams that ran the game for a long time. He was part of the regen team. It was this guy, Blue Super Baby 2 and Green Zenkai Fat Boo. That team was just like completely unkillable. There was like nothing you could do. So that's Zamasu did end up Zenkai Awakening on the 13th. And then on top of that, we also ended up getting the LF Goku and Bardock unique equipment on this day as well. So it was it was a pretty good kind of like off week leading up to Festival. Next reset day was the 20th. We actually got, I believe, nothing on the 20th. And the main reason why we got nothing on the 20th is because the next day, the 21st, was the reveal for the Legends Fest Part 1 characters. So it was the green transforming Vegito Blue reveal and the yellow Rose Goku Black reveal. And then the characters actually released on the 22nd. Historically, for Legends Fest, they always drop the Part 1 characters on a Friday. This is a little bit different than they've done for Anniversary, where Anniversary typically drops on a Saturday. It's like the second to last or last Saturday of the month, depending on what the schedule looks like for that year. But for Legends Fest, it basically every single time is Friday, and the main reason for that is because this is Black Friday, and they've had a history in this game. If you go all the way back even to the first ever Black Friday, which was in 2018, that's when they dropped yellow Goku Black, purple Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and red Majin Vegeta. They always do a big banner on Black Friday to, I guess, capitalize off of the Black Friday sales and things like that. So I would say with 98% certainty that Part 1 of Legends Fest will probably drop on the 22nd here. And then the reveal will be the day before on the 21st. Or I guess whatever day that corresponds with in 2024. This is what happened last year. So, I mean, we could just say like, okay, so for this year, it's just going to be this, right? So that's how that's going to play out. Okay, and then the 27th was the LF Zenkai for Green Super Saiyan Trunks. So if we just type Trunks in here, it was this character, Zenkai for this guy, LF character. And then we ended up getting this free-to-play Rage Trunks also on the 27th. So that is how November went last year. So I think, like I've been saying for the past few months for these videos, when we go over the schedule for each month, we can use the prior year scheduling as a guide to try and predict how this year's schedule will go, but they have been changing things up pretty drastically this year, so it's really hard to say with any degree of certainty that, I think this will happen, I think that will happen. This is largely just going to be conjecture, but this is really all we have to go off of, right? Do I think that this character is going to drop here, or this thing's going to happen here? So, I mean, it's all going to come down to just educated guesses, and so that's what I'm going to try and do here. So for 2025 in November, at least we know one thing that's going to happen on November 5th, and that is going to be the unique equipment for LF Kid Goku. So we should be getting that on the 5th. I would also anticipate we are probably going to be getting a free-to-play character as well here. Now, if we reference back to last year, we ended up getting Red Sin Shenron on the 6th here. He did not really correlate with any of the Legends Fest releases, right? Not even like part 2 or part 3, right? We got Beast Gohan part 3. Part 2 was Daima Super Saiyan Goku and transforming Super Saiyan 3 Goku from the Buu Saga. And then part 1 was Rose and Vegito Blue. The only connection you could really make with Red Sin Shenron to anything that dropped in Legends Fest is Rose being powerful opponent. That's it. I mean, that doesn't really leave a strong impression in terms of a connection between those two characters. So we could end up getting something that's completely unrelated here, because the character that they dropped to correlate, the free character they dropped to correlate with the part 1 of Legends Fest wasn't until here, and that ended up being the Rage Trunks. The free-to-play Rage Trunks obviously has a huge correlation with part 1 because it was all future related. But Sin Shenron didn't really have any connection to part 1 of Legends Fest, so I don't know. It could end up being, I don't even know. Like, let's take a look at some of the characters here. Let's just pick like a random character. It could end up being Saiyan Saga Nappa free-to-play character. It could end up being I don't know. I guess it could be Whis, but we already have a free-to-play Whis here. Golden Frieza. What if it's like Android Saga Android 17 or something? I don't know. It could be anything, right? If it's not going to correlate with part 1 of Legends Fest, then it could be anything. So I think free-to-play character here plus Kid Goku's unique equipment is probably what we're going to see here. The next week on the 12th, so last year we ended up getting the Red Zamasu Zenkai plus Goku and Bardock's unique equipment. I don't know if they would do 2 weeks in a row of LF character unique equipment. So I don't think we would go LF Kid Goku Zenkai here, or sorry, LF Kid Goku's unique equipment here, and then another character's LF unique equipment here. I think what's probably going to happen is this should be on the 12th. Actually, we'll probably get a teaser for whatever is going to drop here on the 11th. The 11th, I think, is really going to be where we see our first actual hint for a theme that we can see for part 1 of Legends Fest. Now, I'm not going to give any hints, or I guess I'm not going to give any hints. I'm not going to give any predictions as to the characters that I think will drop in Legends Fest tomorrow. I already recorded the video. Tomorrow, I'm going to be dropping my Legends Fest Part 1 predictions. So that will be a separate video where I talk about what characters I think will come out and things like that. But this should be the teaser for whatever Zenkai we end up getting over here. And that Zenkai should correlate with the theme of part 1 of Legends Fest. It did last year, right? Red Zamasu got a Zenkai here, and then part 1 of Legends Fest was future. So I think whatever we get here, which will be teased here, should have a correlation with part 1, and that will be when we can kind of start narrowing down the different characters we could potentially see in part 1. So this will be a 1% Zenkai, and then I don't really know what else they could do here, because again, are they really going to drop 2 weeks in a row of LF character unique equipment? I wouldn't be opposed to it. They could do it, but I don't think it's super likely. So I'm going to say that Kid Goku unique equipment here, 1% Zenkai here, and I think that's probably all we're going to see. They could drop filler content, like they could drop like Ultra Space Time Rush Super here. They could drop Tri Arena here. Like they could kind of fill time by doing things like that, which actually wouldn't be the worst thing ever, because that would allow us a chance to farm more resources in anticipation for the Legends Fest celebration, which usually you want to have as much as you can going into that. But that's really what I'm thinking we're going to see on the 12th. And the week after this, the 19th, I would anticipate that we're probably going to get nothing, because that's what happened last year, right? The 20th, we ended up getting nothing. And then sort of like the 21st, 22nd is when things started to, of course, be very exciting for the part 1 of Legends Fest. So I think probably nothing on the 19th. And then the 20th will be the official reveal of the part 1 characters. Part 1 characters will officially drop on the 21st. And then the week after that, the 26th, will be probably, hopefully, an LF Zenkai Awakening of some sort. And then probably if they go with the same path that they did, they go down the same path they did last year, they'll probably also give us a free-to-play character here that correlates with some of the theme, whatever the theme is going to be, or maybe one of the themes that we'd see part 1. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of here. We could quickly talk about the Zenkai situation. So during the anniversary, they did not Zenkai Awaken as many Legends Limited characters as I think that they should have, and I think most people would agree with me, right? You take a look at the 6th anniversary compared to the 7th anniversary. 6th anniversary, we had 3 LF Zenkais. We had the red Fusion Zamasu, we had blue Dragon Ball Super Broly, and we had blue Kid Buu, who all Zenkai Awakened at some point in the 6th anniversary. 7th anniversary, we only had 1 LF Zenkai Awakening, which was the green Revival UI Sign Goku. However, they did still Zenkai that green UI reviving Sign Goku the week after the part 1 characters dropped, or I guess the first reset day after the part 1 characters dropped. So I think we have a very strong case to make here that this will almost, I don't want to say almost certainly be an LF Zenkai, but there's a very, very, very high chance that the 26th here, the last reset day of November, will be a LF Zenkai to correlate in some way or help in some way the characters that drop here on the 21st, the part 1 characters for Legends Fest. So that, I think, is what we're looking at in terms of the schedule for November. And then, you know, kind of as we get into December and we get into part 2 and part 3, we, of course, are going to see some pretty exciting stuff hopefully drop. I think with a lot of what we saw in the anniversary, I don't know how I want to word this. I think because they gave us the dynamic area battle mechanic, and then they overhauled the app, and they were kind of testing out the new design philosophy. So I think maybe you could make the argument that a lot of the character specific things, a lot of the character side mechanics, you know, some of the characters not really bringing anything super interesting or innovative to the table. Like, you can make the argument like the part 2 characters and part 1 characters. If you look at the actual characters themselves, they didn't really have anything super innovative about them. It was more so about the overarching change of the game itself, as opposed to the characters. But now that we've gone through that, I think they can take the time here to look at these characters, whatever they're going to drop for Legends Fest, and really more so just focus on the actual characters themselves, and maybe give us some interesting abilities, like maybe bringing back the Synchro Gauge, bringing back the Preparation Mode, maybe some new stuff that we've never seen before. That's really what I'm hoping for here, because we've got the background app upgrades and changes kind of like done. And now we just want to see how some of these new characters and some of the new mechanics could potentially interact with those abilities. Maybe we have certain things, like I mentioned this during the anniversary, I remember talking about this, when they introduced the dynamic area battle system. What if we end up getting a character that has like special animations for hitting somebody down from the high area to the low area? Maybe there's a character who has specific mechanics tied to their unique ability that are only active whether you're fighting in the air or on the ground. Things like that are what I want to see here. Because we've gotten like kind of the app upgrades and changes out of the way. Now we got to capitalize on those changes by kind of having these character abilities work well and work uniquely with these mechanics. So that's what I'm thinking we're going to see here in November. Let me know what you guys think of the scheduling here. Again, I'll be dropping a video tomorrow going over what I think the themes and characters that we could potentially see during Legends Fest drop. So let me know your predictions for that down below. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you in the next one.